Those new high-tech gadgets that you unwrapped for the holidays are making you scratch your head. You are not alone.
Figuring out how to use your new electronic friend can be a daunting task, and that's where the 44 steps in. Here's ABC 40's Chris Pisano with more from our tech support. Chris?
Yeah, guys, whether you got a smartphone or a laptop or a desktop, they all run on something called an operating system, an OS. And just as the device may be new to you, so too could be that OS. And joining me now to explain the whole thing, you probably recognize this guy, Stan Prager from GoGeeks in East Longmeadow. Stan, we talked over the weekend about people getting a new system and being surprised that it doesn't run exactly like their old system.
Yeah, that's correct. So an operating system is the kind of the brains of whatever you have. So a tablet, an iPhone, a computer are going to have a different operating system on it. The biggest challenge that we're running into this season is people who had old computers and upgraded and bought a new PC from the store. The new Windows operating system, Windows 8.1, is jarringly different from the old one. So many people who were, had no problem transitioning from one Microsoft operating system to another are running into a real brick wall with this one.
How do we know what operating system we're even using? Is there a way to tell on the computer?
Well, on the computer, normally when it boots up, it tells you that. So in Macs, a lot smaller numbers, it'll say, OS 10 or something like that. But in Windows, usually as it's booting up, it'll say Windows XP, Windows 7, or Windows 8.
What happens if we have a device with an operating system we don't care for? Is there any way to go back to the old one or somehow update it?
You can go backwards. It's somewhat expensive. I mean, we occasionally get people coming into GoGeeks saying, look, I hate Windows 8. I want to go Windows 7. I'll pay the money. Can you bring me back to an operating system that I can understand and work with? And we can certainly do that for them. But it's an investment, per se.
Is. What would you tell someone then? Essentially, they need to just sit down and get used to it and figure out how it works. What's the best way to do that?
Well, we offer training. For instance, you can get training elsewhere. You can buy books that'll walk you through that. If you have a computer built for you, like the PCs we build for people, many small places like us can offer you an option to get a Windows 7 instead of Windows 8. So there's lots of different ways to go. But the best tip I tell everyone is use Google. Just ask a question. How do you do this in Windows 8?
That's assuming someone knows how to access the internet.
Well, yes. You have to get past that first hurdle, Chris. Right. And then once you've done that, yes. But Google is often, any search engine basically. But essentially, if you ask the question, you used to know how to do this in Windows XP, for instance.
I've done that myself. You Google it.
How do you exactly? You Google it. If you put it in there, I have Windows 8.1. How do you do this in Windows 8.1? Normally, there's at least 10,000 other people who have the same question.
Or you could wait for Windows 10 to come out.
Well, that's possible, but who's that patient?
Not me, that's for sure. Speaking of patients, someone wants to talk to you, I'm sure, so get back to the phone, Stan.
Thanks, Chris.
Stan is one of our tech experts right here. If you'd like to give him a call for tech support, 846-0240. They're only here till 6:30, so call now. Back to you.
All right, Chris, thanks. And coming up next on our 44's Tech Support, explaining something new in the workplace called BYO.